into a project that I'm getting like hyped for. I'm getting excited.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Things aren't fitting into place how we were hoping.
I'm scared. I think it's gonna burn down the boat.
Ah! Alright, let him in on the news there, Big Matty boy, what you've done. I'm Kristen, and this is Matt. We've spent the last 4 years sailing our $5,000 Craigslist boat to some of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. From spearfishing in South Andros, Bahamas, staying in a treehouse and riding horses through the rainforest of the Dominican Republic, to even dodging hurricanes in Puerto Rico. We could have never imagined what this adventure would become. After gaining more sailing experience, we knew we had to make some serious upgrades to our boat if we wanted to keep this journey going. So we decided to go all in with our 40-year-old boat and get a new engine. We soon realized that we were in for more projects than we originally planned on. There's gonna be some major changes coming up, so hit subscribe and join us for the journey. What's up guys, welcome back to Sailing GBU. This week we're doing something that you guys have all been wondering about for weeks and weeks. And
years and years.
If you're new to this channel, you might not know, but we do not use our Windlass. We have a Windlass, it's not hooked up, and Matt's been struggling. Okay, I'm not gonna say he's struggling. Matt's been ripping his back, and he says it's fine, and we're all thinking he's gonna hurt his back, but he's been pulling the anchor up non-stop, and now today that we've revealed the Windlass, it's behind the old cabinet that we already demoed down, we're gonna get in there and finagle it because we got a new engine coming, right?
Yeah, bro, I'm finagling it because my back is just killing me after these 5 years. Y'all call it, you know, a hassle. I call it working out. But either way, we're going to use it because who knows? Maybe one day we just want to use it.
Well, because once we get a new engine, we'll be able to use it, correct?
Yeah, once we get the new engine, we'll be able to use it. So I was thinking to myself, life needs to be a lot easier. You know, life was just too hard for me, and I'm going to work on that Windlass. This boat ain't going to tear itself up, though, so let's get to it. Alright, so here's my old Windlass. Pretty damn crusty and dusty. But we're going to get into it. Maybe it still works. I haven't ran this thing in like 5 years, so I'm kind of curious as to whether or not it's going to work. But we're going to see. Here's all my wires. My positive, my negative will be in there. And then I'll have a relay for the switch. The switch is here. So I'm going to have to really dig into this to see even what does what.
Oh boy, it's falling apart, Matt.
It's falling apart. Alright, so basically what I did here was I removed the whole switch. I think it's called a relay for a switch. My electricians out there can correct me on that if you know. But either way, I removed it and now I have my negative still attached and then I have my positive here. So what I'm going to do is hook these ends up to a battery so that I have power, and in my infinite wisdom, I think that I can just touch the positive to each one of these terminals and that will show me if I'm going to get movement one way or the other.
Or light the boat on fire and we all die.
Or light the boat on fire and we all die. Okay, so I'm kind of worried about this because when this moves, the whole bolt moves. So I'm thinking to myself,
This could be more dangerous than you were thinking.
Well, it's just that I think something might be broken in there, so I don't think it's going to get a good connection, clearly. Even though I'm a little nervous about that bolt that's moving, I'm still going to hook it up just to see, because that bolt could be the only problem, or it could be a bigger problem, or maybe it's not that much of a problem. But let's see if
How many times can you say a problem?
It's a problem. But either way, we got to get into it, get some power to it, and see. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick break from today's video to talk about today's sponsor, Acorns. Does the thought of starting to invest overwhelm you or put you off? The investment world can be intimidating to jump into. That's where Acorns comes in. Acorns makes it easy to save and invest every day in the background of life, starting with just your spare change. No expertise required. Essentially, you're just setting it up and letting Acorns do the work. You'll barely notice it, and over time, it can really grow. Make investing a small decision, easily in the background of your life, with recurring contributions from as little as $5. Your money is invested into a diverse portfolio that is designed to give you exposure to more markets and expand your investment potential. The goal of diversification is to make sure you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Acorns has customized portfolios based on your age, risk tolerance, and more. So go to get.acorns.com/sailinggoodbadandugly and download Acorns to make investing easy. You can get a $10 bonus investment if you use my link to set up an account today. T&Cs apply. Alright guys, now back to the video. Alright, so I'm not getting any power. I arc it directly, I'm not getting a spark or anything, so the only thing I'm thinking is maybe the battery's dead.
Dun dun dun. Alright, let him in on the news there, Big Matty boy, what you've done.
I didn't do anything, but I'm guessing that when I had this plugged into the old charge controller, obviously it was powering the charge controller, and that's the only thing that could have drained it. But this is a pretty new battery, so I don't know if it's going to come back from 4. There's probably not any built-in protection to this, but either way, I'm going to run over to my dog Cheech and see if he has a battery charger for me. I'm going to plug it in, get it charged up, and we're going to have to come back to that later. So I guess this is just the good Lord's way of telling me
that no projects are easy?
Well, no. Stay away from that windlass, boy. It's the Lord trying to keep me humble. Once you got a windlass...
No, it's not!
Once you got a windlass, you're just going, me, and you know, the Lord wants me to toil a little bit, I think.
Alright guys, so we gotta wait like about an hour or so right until that battery charges.
We're only getting an hour because it's Friday and the boys are kicking off in like a half hour to an hour. So hopefully, it looked like a big charger, so I think it should be well charged. We'll see. If not,
we'll find out from there.
Yeah, that's when the adventure starts, you know.
We're moving on and we're gonna go to a project that I'm getting like hyped for. I'm getting excited. We're gonna be putting in the washing machine. We have to build a frame, right? Because it's going to be shaky and you don't want to like rip your bulkheads out or it flying out. And we're going to be putting it into the bathroom. Because you know what? I could have sworn I counted all the votes from last week's video and you guys all voted for me, right?
I had some road dogs in there, you know. I had some gangsters that were ready to ride for the realest of the real. Hashtag the realest. Yeah, it was better off. We would have had to move the sink a little bit too high anyway after a little bit further inspection. So better to have it in the bathroom. All of the water goes to that side for like when we're taking a shower, water leaks. If there were to be a water leak, I don't have anything on that side that needs to stay dry. Underneath the sink over here, I do have some dry storage under this old... What's it called? A settee. The settee. Sorry, guys. I'm getting my nautical terms on fleek.
All right, let's get in there and start this job.
All right, so that I can access where you have to mount, I guess, so I can access the mouse of this thing. This white
What
cup,
are you saying? You said mouse this thing.
Mounts. In order to access the mounts on this thing, I have to take off the white cover because everything holds onto this gray piece. So I have to get this out of here so I can start to see exactly where everything's going to go.
So we're deconstructing our washer.
Yes, a little bit. They're 220 at the house.
Alright, Matt thinks he knows how to do it, but I'm making him look at the instructions first. Just to make sure.
It's going to work out really well because my Korean is awesome.
Is it just in Korean?
Yeah.
Oh no! Why
acting like you were gonna read it then.
I'm hoping there's pictures. Well, lo and behold, there were no pictures, so I'm left to my own devices. I'm just gonna get the materials in my hands and I'm gonna say, I think this will work.
Goodness gracious. Here we go again.
Matt almost made some mistakes and he had to change his marker color so he didn't screw up, and he had to write no so he didn't forget. Embarrassing.
It's okay to say no. Alright, y'all, excuse me if I'm breathing a little too hard, but I had to
You
carry...
were just yawning.
Oh yeah, I wasn't breathing hard, I was just yawning. That's what I say every time I'm breathing hard. They say, you tired? I said, no, I just yawned. But anyway, I had to go get my battery, and now I'm going to check the volts. I don't know. Charge for an hour. Hopefully it's looking good.
Went up some.
No, it went up quite a bit, but I don't know if 11.5 is going to cut it. Alright, we got it up to 11.5. That's not ideal, but let's see if we can get old Sparky to jump.
See? You almost blew up the boat, Matt.
Alright, we got some spark. Let's go. Let's see if it works.
Does that mean it's gonna work, or does that mean it's gonna burn down our boat?
It's not going to burn down the boat. It's going to be fine.
Oh my god. I'm scared. I think it's gonna burn down the boat.
Alright, so that definitely did not get anything to happen, but my battery is pretty dead, but nothing even ever tried to jump. I got a little more digging to do. I'm going to fight with her a little bit more, but as you can see, she's seen better days, so we might have to fuss with it a little more on a separate section. But to put your mind at ease, I'm trying, boys. I'm trying to get a Windlass so I can just forget about breaking a sweat.
It looks pretty straight.
Make that mark then. You don't want the bottom too if you can.
Alright guys, so it's the next day. We were struggling yesterday. Things aren't fitting into place how we were hoping. Obviously, nothing can be easy for us on this here dang boat, and we are fitting it in, and it turns out that with the cabinet to hide it, part of it's going to be overhanging from the actual hole, and that just looks horrible. Maybe we could put some trim or something on it, I said. But then the other idea was to just make a backing wall and just have it like on the wall. It's not an ugly washing machine. It could look fine.
But then it looks like a laundry room, you know?
I don't care. It's the bathroom. I think that would look fine. I'm still kind of pulling for the idea. But Matt, he's still in love with his idea under the sink. And he wants to chop the entire sink bowl out and just see if it fits. Just give it a go. I tried to do measurements and I said, I don't think this is really going to fit. But he still is going to push forward and try it out. So let's just get into chopping up our sink and just fingers crossed, everybody.
And another big catalyst to me wanting to put it down there before everyone says, oh, 1/4 inch aesthetic, you guys are being nitpicky. Another problem with putting the washing machine here is that it would bury my chain plate also. It wouldn't bury it 100%, but it would make it difficult to get to. And if I ever had to replace it or do anything, I'd have to tear apart all the structure that I'm going to make and do a good job with it. So that's another little I don't love it here part.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Good Lord. Just made sure the water's off in case I nicked that water line there. I knew knew I was going to do that. Getting behind schedule makes you rush things and makes you rush things. And when you rush things, you bend your tools and you break them. So I'm going to the other saw now.
Don't get fired.
Jesus.
Ew. Oh. What is that?
It's diarrhea.
No, it's not.
No, it's not diarrhea. It's just old water that was down here sitting. Still not incredibly pleasant. Alright, so even though I got diarrhea on, one thing that's working out here, even though we're getting rid of this old sink because it was hideous and outdated, I think I am going to convert this into a pimp chalice. So,
get out of here.
Well, I don't know what everyone's pimp name would be, but my pimp name would be... What would my pimp name be, bae? If I was a pimp.
Stanky McGee.
Stanky McGee? That's not a great pimp name. So this is going to say Stanky McGee Pimpin' Industries. Good Lord. Stanky McGee. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see if this bad boy goes in there.
Well, what does it look like to you?
I mean, do you think that looks okay?
I mean, once you put a faceplate and the cabinet doors on there, it fits. By golly, it fits!
It fits!
Whoa. We're gonna make our neighbors think we're out of our
We're gonna let our neighbors think something's fitting. So I'm super hyped about this. I'm so much happier with the washer in a lower area. I'm gonna have like fiberglass walls that I can mount to inside of this thing instead of up high, locking my chain plates away. I'm a lot happier with it down here. Anyway, though, with the...
You just want to say you win. Okay, Matt, I get it.
Structurally...
Hashtag facts Karen.
Hashtag
lost.
facts
Lost this time.
Hashtag facts Karen 0-1. But no, I always knew it'd be better down here, but we were just worried about the sink. And it is going to push the sink up to here, but I don't know if like bowl sinks are gone out of fashion now. I don't know if like raised sinks really ain't working, but we could do a shallower sink. We don't do anything but wash our faces in this and brush our teeth. So it doesn't, we don't do dishes in the sink. It doesn't need to be a really big deep sink, but it's going to end up being something about this height. So who knows? Maybe I plant like some succulents all through the back and make this like a tropical oasis.
Let's get it together.
Alright, so I put this little shelf in on the floor basically just to be an extra set of hands. Kristen would have helped me, but it's just too small in here for both of us to fit, so I made a set of hands that could help me on my own. Also put in the back brace there. That's going to be the first brace. Once I can hang the little washer on that, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get my other marks precise, which I have to get precise because this is still a small space. So now that I got my mounting bolts in there, 2 of them, I'm ready to dry fit my washer for real this time. pretty hyped with how this fit. I still have some room underneath that I'll be able to make 2 drawers here since they'll be different depths. I'll probably make 2, but who knows? I might make one with just a funky shape inside. But yeah, that's going to be great. I'll be able to put like detergent there, dryer sheets, whatever else I need to do.
We don't use a dryer.
Oh man, you're right. And then I'll have my drainage hose out the back, which will just drain right through there. And that won't be a problem either. So I'm much happier with it down here on the floor than I would be up there. And now I have a place for my towels, which is really important for me. I get to keep my towel space.
Aren't you proud, Matt? It looks great. I think just a little more cutting out of the sink and it's going to fit in there really nicely. And when it's all said and done, we're going to be really happy about that.
Yeah, we're going to be happy that I don't got to stomp the yard in my bucket no more.
Guys, so we got the great debate is now done. Matt, you won. Champion for you. I lost. But you know what? I'm happy at the long run because I really didn't want to not put doors that went over it. I wanted it to be like, oh wow, there's a washing machine. I didn't want to be like, oh, there's a washing machine.
Yeah, and you know, I think
if that makes any sense.
And I think it's a good adage for life. You know, sometimes when you lose, you still win. Because it's in a way better place. It's in a better place now, as you could say. That was just the gods telling us don't put it up here because I might have been out, you know, cutting a loaf off one day and then the whole washer might have came out from back behind me and just knocked me out. You know?
I think it should after you just said cutting that. Whatever. Anyways, on to our Windlass. Well, it looks like we might need to get a new one or you still have some finagling to do?
It looks bad. It hasn't been moved in 5 years at least, so it just probably doesn't work anymore. So I can look into a new one, or I can just say with that idea and keep pulling the
train. We'll figure it out, guys. Let us know what you guys think down below. And as always, make sure that you guys sign up on Patreon if you want to see the updates ahead of time instead of waiting each week. And you can also hear about our mistakes earlier. Oh, and you'll see our engine put in earlier, and you'll also see the, what is it called when it's all said and done?
The grand reveal.
The grand reveal earlier than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, basically you get some treats. You get more dirt. We share a little more dirt, but we don't really hold much back on the channel overall. But you get more dirt, you get some new stuff, you get the reveals, you get to know things that, you know, might keep you up at night just wondering.
Alright guys, leave your comments, hit like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week when we continue this madness. Bye.